from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
There will be no year-round classes in the Fargo School District. It was an option that was being considered as the district wrestles for solutions into future overcrowding.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly just returned from tonight's school board meeting with details. Katie?
Mike, Andrea, while many things are still up in the air, Fargo school leaders say when it comes to controlling the capacity issue, they will no longer consider the option of year-round schooling at Discovery Middle School and Davies High School. The board says year-round schooling is a major change that could be considered to improve educational opportunities in the future, but will not be used to battle the overflow of students. While the board ultimately came to this conclusion, it's not without public outcry. Board member Christy Ulrich says out of any of the three proposed topics, she received the most heat from concerned parents about this one.
Is it safe to say, can we just remove this from the conversation tonight? Does anybody disagree with that? Okay. Year-round school is no longer a consideration in this discussion.
This was just one of the three potential solutions to overcrowding, with boundary changes and a 9th grade academy still on the table. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Katie. The board says they plan to continue to research the remaining ideas. For more information about previous school capacity coverage, go to our website, valleynewslive.com.
Big vote today in Barnesville, where the district was asking for approval on 3 questions, and all 3 passed. Over 1,600 ballots were cast today, and the numbers you're about to see don't include all absentee votes. The first bond issue was approved on a 1,082 to 627 margin. It was for $24.5 million, and it's going to pay for upgrades and maintenance at the elementary and high school. The second question passed by a margin of 956 to 753 and will lead to $1.6 million in funding for the expansion of an auditorium and an elevated walking track. A third question passed 890 to 812. That'll generate $1.5 million to pay for a walkway linking the elementary school and high school.
A startling call for authorities in Hawley, Minnesota, involving a hostage situation in town, but it turned out to be false. And now deputies are looking for the prankster.
Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer is here with us and brings us up to speed on what happened and how this is becoming an issue across the country. Melanie?
Andrea, Mike, deputies quickly made their way to a home on the 1000 block of Hartford Street in Hawley this evening. They got a call from a man who said there was an active hostage situation in the home and that he was armed and would hurt other people inside the house. When deputies got to the home, they say a man was outside and he was briefly taken into custody, but officials quickly learned he had nothing to do with the call and say he fell victim to a scam called swatting. That's when deputies say someone deceives an emergency responder, requesting the help of police to another person's address. This can include bomb threats, murders, along with hostage situations, just like what happened here. Now, this situation in Hawley is not rare or new. In fact, according to the FBI, at least 400 cases are reported each year. And authorities want people to stop doing it because it can turn deadly. That's exactly what happened a couple years ago in Kansas when an officer shot and killed an unarmed man after police got a report that a man had shot and killed his family inside that home. Police later determined he too fell victim to this swatting scam. Mike?
All right, thanks, Melanie. Authorities are now investigating to try and find out where the original call came from.
The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension will be conducting a statewide test of the Blue Alert system this Thursday at 1:10 in the afternoon. Blue Alerts help locate suspects when a local, state, or federal officer is killed or seriously wounded in the line of duty. The BCA is testing the system to make sure it activates as expected and to help Minnesotans become familiar with what they would see and hear when a Blue Alert is issued.
In Fergus Falls, police are asking for your help identifying these people, 2 people of interest. If you have any information on them, you're urged to call Detective Delaney. The phone number's on your screen, 218-332-5504.
Bike thefts around Fargo in the month of July have reached a 4-year high. In July alone, there were 44 bikes stolen in Fargo. Bike thefts in the months of June and July are historically high in the Fargo area. Compared to previous years, June had a small number of bikes stolen, at about 38 altogether. The highest they've gotten in June was 59. That was in 2017.
A man from a small town in Minnesota woke up to a startling sight last weekend. He walked outside, found that someone had vandalized his pride items.
Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard drove to Vergas, Minnesota today to hear how that act of destruction prompted the community to stand beside him.
The sign was right here.
Paul Harstick walked outside to his "All Are Welcome" sign torn in half and thrown across his yard.
My flag was kind of back here, kind of tucked away a little bit.
And his pride flag being ripped down.
There was anger that someone would come onto my property and do this. There was also some fear.
So Harstick checked his surveillance camera and caught the person walking across his front yard Saturday night, which he says confirms that it was no accident. After hearing Harstick's story on social media, Mandy Rubenstein rounded up a group of people.
This is just basically a sign that I made. I wanted to do something, no matter how small, just to make him feel welcome.
And the two marched through Vergas to Billy's Corner Bar to meet up with others from small communities who are standing by Harstick. Rubenstein says she hopes to set an example for her kids.
We're here to be role models.
Amazed, I feel so much joy and love from all of my friends and the community that wrote their support for this.
And at the end of the day, Paul, Mandy, and all the others that gathered here just want people to know that all are welcome here. In Vergas, Minnesota, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
If you have any information on who vandalized his items, you're urged to call the Otter Tail County Sheriff's Department.
Social media was buzzing last night with talk about the Columbia Mall in Grand Forks. People were wondering after rumors surfaced that the mall was filling one of its many vacancies with a second church. However, after some investigating, we found out that's not the case. Mall officials denied a request for comment on any additions, but people we talked to today didn't hold back, saying that they think the mall would come back to life if it had more experiences and games instead of just stores and restaurants.
You know, maybe like a mini golf thing, or maybe an indoor go-kart track. I know we get a lot of traffic from Winnipeg, you know, coming through here. They add something to their shopping experience. That would be pretty cool.
Columbia Mall is owned by a firm out of Illinois.
Starting school for the very first time has got to be near the top of your life's biggest events list when you're 5 years old. And for some, treats can make the transition from summer to school a bit easier. Bennett Elementary incoming kindergarten students, their families, and the principal gathered tonight to enjoy popsicles on the school playground. The gathering is a way to make the transition into the first year of school less stressful for the new students. It allows them to become more familiar with the school and the campus and other families in a social setting.
Each year it's interesting because it seems like sometimes the kids are okay and the parents are a little anxious, and so we just want to make sure that everyone feels good about the start of school.
This annual event is sponsored by the Bennett Elementary Parent-Teacher Association.
Young anglers had the chance to cast a line in the Red River tonight. Riverkeepers and FM Walleyes Unlimited hosted the Lil Fisherman's Derby at Fargo's Dike East along 2nd Street. Stations were set up with different skills and tips like tying knots and learning how to stay safe around water.
It's important to educate the kids about fishing, especially around the Red River, because it is in our back door. Trying to get the kids outside of the house, away from the video games, get them doing some more outside activities, something you don't really see a whole lot right now.
The kids also learned more safety tips like wearing a life jacket and proper fish handling and hook removal.
Otter Tail County is seeing some damage after a possible tornado touchdown near Henning this afternoon. Deputies with the Otter Tail County Sheriff's Department say they responded to a report of a tornado near the area of County Highway 134 around 2:30. They say windrows of oats were thrown from a nearby field onto some power lines and a fence. No injuries have been reported yet.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Interesting weather as we went through our day today. It certainly didn't feel like tornado weather, but there certainly was a fair share of tornadic activity and funnel clouds across Minnesota today. We still have low clouds drifting overhead, and from time to time some rain spilling out of them, even here at the late night hours. Our temperatures, we've been stuck in the 60s all afternoon and evening. It's still 62, 61 your temperature at Moorheads Airport. Wind north at 7 miles per hour. Here's a look around the region. Everyone in the 60s as we get ready for the overnight hours. It's already in the upper 50s in Jamestown, with a few showers still exiting parts of Otter Tail County, and a lot of these showers so light the radar shooting right over the top of them. in the higher part of the clouds, not seeing everything that's actually making its way down to the ground. There's the Henning area tornado report, numerous other tornado reports through southern and southeastern Minnesota throughout our afternoon. Quieter weather now building in as we head through the overnight hours. That's not the case though in Kansas, where they have severe thunderstorms rumbling through. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows winds diminishing as we go into the deep hours of the overnight. A fair amount of clouds look to linger now as opposed to the clearing we were expecting earlier. The best chance of that lingering cloudiness is going to be in eastern North Dakota. Watch out for patchy areas of fog and look at these temperatures. That's right, a upper 40 or 2 in the northern tier of counties, a likelihood as we get going on our Wednesday morning. The rest of us near 50 degrees. I don't think rain is going to be a widespread issue as we go through the first half of our day. We should see at least some peaks of sunshine here and there throughout the valley. Temperatures slowly rebounding. Now, we won't be above average tomorrow. In fact, we won't get to average, but it will feel nicer. In the afternoon, we could see popcorn showers here or there, but mostly it's going to be dry. And then another cool night in store as we head into Thursday morning. So your hour-by-hour planner showing temperatures slipping down into those 50s for the first part of our day, but climbing into the low 70s with a mix of sun and clouds. The wind not an issue tomorrow at under 10 miles per hour. Everyone in the 70s for the afternoon, low to mid 70s at best. 71 for Bemidji, 74 Roseau, Wahpeton, Breckenridge at 71. And Amber Waves sent this picture in. No, that was Kermit Nelson sending that in of the amber waves. It's that time of year again. Maybe we'll dry out and that harvest can get back underway. Thursday, spotty showers. We warm up to 75, still below average for this time of the year. A little better on Friday with just a pinch of a chance of a sprinkle here or there. The weekend really is looking pretty fair. After some Saturday showers, the 80s return for Sunday and into early next week. And so does the dry weather, by the way. I know a lot of kids who are heading back to school ready for a little bit more summer-like weather. There still is some in the planner.
Get us above average.
Yes.
Thanks, Edge.
Still to come on Valley News Live 10 at 10, a warning tonight about certain products sold online as medical treatments. The FDA says they're similar to drinking bleach.